What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Mufasa X Gaming, and today we'll be doing a reaction of the Xbox Showcase. But you know what I mean, I only have a small amount of time, so I won't be able to do the entire hour and some change. And plus, we've already done a couple of the show of the little what's the names already. But actually, somebody I'm subscribed to, Gamer Nation, or my bad, Xbox Nation. He has like a smaller version of the showcase where I'm guessing he has everything cut up and everything else. So we're gonna check a little bit of that out. First and foremost, I will have his channel in the description down below just to show appreciation or whatever. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and do this. First and foremost, before we get into the show, before I hit that button, please hit that like button. Yay.
Just wrapped up, and there are a ton of games that were revealed for both your Xbox consoles and Xbox Game Pass, and even a brand new hardware reveal. Alongside some huge first-party titles, we also got some incredible third-party announcements, alongside some shadow drops that are available on your Xbox consoles right now. With that, I will be covering the 33 Xbox and Game Pass games that were announced at the Xbox Showcase in 2025.
Oh, it was 33
My name
games?
is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation. Make sure to subscribe for more Xbox content every single day, and let's dive right into these insane Xbox announcements. First up, and the big trailer that kicked off this great showcase was The Outer Worlds 2, and we looked at a brand new launch date for this year. We did also get to see more of this game with the extended direct, and this is looking like a massive step up in all areas compared to the first entry. The world here is a lot bigger, and there was a greater emphasis put on factions, the choices that you can make, and also major improvements to the combat. There is also a nice new addition of weapon types like we see in games like the Borderlands series, with some very weird and wonderful options. If you are interested in The Outer Worlds 2, this is coming to Xbox and day one to Xbox Game Pass on the 29th of October. I'm really loving the extra detail on the corporate satire here, alongside the different options in terms of dialogue and also ways that you can just enter different buildings. It's looking really great, Obsidian are really cooking, and I can't wait for this October. I loved the original High on Life when it came to Xbox Game Pass a few years back now, and I was so shocked to see that High on Life 2 got announced, and I'm really up for it. This one is coming this winter to both the Xbox Series consoles and will be another day one Xbox Game Pass title, as we saw with the first entry. Of course, like the previous game, we are joined by our beloved ragtag team of alien misfits as we shoot, stab and skate our way through some weird alien worlds across the galaxy. Instead of aliens using humans for drugs this time, the story now goes in a wacky new direction, and now aliens are actually using humans in different zoos and a luxury fantastic cruise liner. This trailer really did show us some brand new weapons and characters alongside some fan favorites, and there was even that signature humor that we all know and love. Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy was actually revealed at the Future Games Showcase a day before, but we did get the full reveal at the Xbox Showcase. This new game from Asobo Studios and Focus Entertainment looks to expand the universe of A Plague Tale with a brand new and original story set 15 years before the events of the last game. With a new action-adventure approach, we are now invited to dive into Sophia's past and journey with her to the Minotaur's Island, outsmart deadly foes and unravel some ancient secrets, along with confronting the creature at the heart of a devastating curse. We will be able to wield a sword in one hand and light in the other, and then plunge into the myth of the macula. It looks pretty incredible, but I would like to see a bit more gameplay here. The benefit though is that it's also coming to Xbox Game Pass sometime in 2026. I love the fact that Xbox and Bandai Namco have such a close relationship, and that was made abundantly clear as The Blood of Dawnwalker is an incredible new game that got shown off for the first time on the Xbox floor. This is actually a brand new dark fantasy role-playing saga, and it immediately gave me The Witcher and Tomb Raider vibes, and rightly so, as it's got ex-developers from The Witcher games working behind the scenes. Upon doing some more digging as well, you'll play as Cohen, a young man turned into a Dawnwalker, which is half man, half vampire, and he is forever treading the line between the world of day and the realm of night. I absolutely love the combat here, and I'm always a big sucker for these medieval themed games with some pretty gruesome and dark combat. It did have a few moments where it looked a bit shaky frame rate wise, but it does come out in 2026, so I have no doubt we'll see some more improvements by its launch dates. In a transition away from the medieval setting to a more cuter stylized one,
Super
but still
Meat Boy
containing
3D.
that decapitation, we had the reveal of a new Super Meat Boy. It's actually being developed by a different dev called Slugify, and they're taking the Team Meat's indie darling into a third dimension. Of course, Super Meat Boy 3D is exactly what you love about this series. It's still a challenging platformer where you will guide a cube of meat on a mission to rescue his bandage-made girlfriend, but now it's in a 3D setting. From wall jumping through buzzsaws, collapsing caves, and dying countless times along the way, it looks really great. There does seem to be a lot of old school charm here as well, alongside that fast-paced gameplay, and I'm really actually looking forward to seeing how the devs transition from this franchise from 2D to 3D. It is coming out in early 2026, and it's also a day one Xbox Game Pass title. We did actually get a further look at Ninja Gaiden 4 during the show, and it's still exceeding my expectations in every single way. We did see everything here from seamless weapon switching and a surprisingly, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is getting a brand new DLC, and it arrives this September, and it's called The Order of the Giants. This DLC is set during the main game and expands on the story of the Nephilim Order. We will of course face off against some old threats and new foes, navigating Rome beyond the walls of Vatican City, and then also uncovering the legend of a colossal beast. We did only get a very brief look, but again, this one gave us a release date and it's coming on the 4th of September. It's definitely worth upgrading to the premium upgrade edition if you have a Game Pass subscription, as it's still pretty cheap at that discounted price point. In a twist that nobody really expected, Pokemon developer Game Freak announced Beast of Reincarnation and
hold on. I do want to speak about this. So yeah, this is the same company that makes Pokemon. So basically, that makes me believe if they make let's play this.
Pokemon games
after
with
this,
their awful visuals, this one looks absolutely incredible. I have looked a bit further into this one as I really love the trailer, and this is a new action RPG set in post-apocalyptic Japan. The world here has also become consumed by a different corruption and then overtaken by some cool and some pretty gross looking formidable beasts. We will take control of a protagonist called Emma, who is a cursed outcast, and she's actually joined by her loyal dog called Ku. They will journey through a dangerous, ever-shifting world that demands precision and mastery of technical combat. It kind of gives me Monster Hunter vibes or even Wild Heart vibes, but the combat here is more action RPG orientated like Black Myth Wukong. Even so, this still comes to us soon, and it's also a day one Game Pass title.
It's lit.
My highlight.
All right, so what I wanted to say was literally that game is made by the same directors, the same game developers as the Pokemon games. That tells me it's not that team. It is Bandai. It's the people who make it's the people who are like the heads of Pokemon. Is the reason why Pokemon honestly has fell off. I don't know if you played any of the last handheld, like the last Pokemon games or whatever. But those games are so, bro. There's a reason why I have not played and went back to any of the newer PlayStation, or not PlayStation, any of the newer Pokemon games is because, bro, they're the same game and they're not fun anymore whatsoever. And an individual, I forgot what the page was, but an individual made what the Pokemon games could look like in like a darker, more like doper tone of like gameplay and everything else. They made a whole little trailer for it and it looked amazing. And if Pokemon was like that, bro, I'm all in for it. But what we continue to get over and over and over, and mind you, the games are still $60 to $70, and now with the Nintendo Switch 2, they're gonna be like $90 or $80 to $90. You feel me? And that's not even including the DLC. But that's neither here nor there. It's just like, bro, it's not the development team. It's it's the people above them who are keeping it the way it is and saving a ton of money because people are stupid enough to continue to buy that game. And it's not worth it anymore. I understand the card game is like going still bananas right now, and people are just buying packs and everything else, and that hobby has blown up again. I understand that, but the game, bro, the game isn't worth it no more. I'll be honest with you, because I used to be a big Pokemon fan, but this is all about Xbox, so let's continue.
The show was easily Clockwork Revolution, and I know many of you out there are saying exactly the same thing. This wasn't a short snippet of gameplay either. We actually got a rather extended Grounded 2 looks to be another fantastic hit from Obsidian, and my god, this developer is absolutely cooking this 2025.
Actually, I've played a little bit of this.
You can expect to be living a Bugs Life kind of adventure in this new game, as you play as a teen who's essentially been struck down and thrown into a dangerous and now oversized world. The new setting though is called Brick Hollow Park, and it looks pretty big compared to the original game. With a brand new environment, some new creepy crawly species for you to fight, and a bunch of new exciting systems to keep track of if you hope to stay alive, Grounded 2 already looks as if it has the makings to be one of the best survival games of all time. The good news is that Grounded 2 will be launching into Xbox Game Preview and also Steam Early Access on the 29th of July, so it's coming out very soon, and it will also be a part of Xbox Game Pass at its launch. The latest title from the Silent Hill 2 remake developer is a third-person survival horror experience with a very retro-futuristic setting, and also an eerie story that involves time travel and the end of human civilization. Chronos: The New Dawn looks absolutely incredible, and looks to implement everything we love from games like Dead Space. The new trailer we were shown highlights the game's emerging mechanics, which allow orphans, which are the enemies in this game, to essentially absorb their allies that have fallen in combat, and then turn into bigger and faster threats. It looks awesome, and I know many of you horror fans will be foaming at the mouth. And to top it off, they've also let us know that it's coming in fall 2025.
Yeah, Chronos: The New Dawn.
Of course, during the show, we did get the standard fare of seeing what's up and coming for both The Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, and there's some nice content here if you love either of these games. The Elder Scrolls Online Season of the Worm Cult starts on the 18th of June, and we got to see a bit more detail here. This will be a true sequel to the main narrative of ESO, and you'll be investigating the resurgence of the Worm Cult, which will meet some brand new allies and join forces with some familiar faces. It looks pretty fun, and I'm sure all of you Elder Scrolls Online fans will love diving into this brand new expansion. We then had a look at Fallout 76, and they are adding a rather substantial fishing update, and I do actually quite like it. You can now grab a rod, find a pond, or even just a small puddle, and start catching fish across Appalachia. They mentioned there are over 30 weird and wonderful fish waiting to be reeled in, and it can be done anywhere that you can swim. It's a nice little update, and it's available right now. I will also briefly mention that we got another Sea of Thieves shout, and this is for Season 17 called Smuggler's Tide. It seems as though details are still pretty light at the moment, but at the very least we're getting a brand new faction, which is cool to see, and shows that they're constantly evolving on this game. Otherwise, it seems like a pretty typical new Sea of Thieves season, with some new loot and voyages to uncover, but if you're interested, this one lands this August. Revealed during the showcase alongside an action-packed gameplay trailer, we got a brand new look at Avalon, a new IP from the team Don't Nod, the same team behind the great Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. The new game looks to follow the protagonist and astronaut Ariana, who is stranded on the frozen planet of Persinope. She must survive and brave the landscapes and shifting realities of this planet to rescue her wounded partner named Thomas. The end of the trailer also seems to hint at something more sinister to this sci-fi action game, but it could really take a turn. Don't Nod also confirmed that the game will blend both exploration, traversal, and tense stealth gameplay, and that players will have to avoid some lurk threats and uncover haunting secrets buried beneath the ice. We did get a release window of 2026, so it does seem a little while off, but I will update you as we get more news, but a big benefit is that it's coming day one to Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Weird is one of those words that I try to avoid, because it usually means I'm not going to even attempt to understand or unpack the specific things that is going on. But Supernatural Hotel Renovator, There Are No More Ghosts at the Grand really stood out to me last night. This is a narrative-driven adventure game that follows Chris David, a man who inherits a dilapidated seaside hotel from his late father. His goal is to essentially renovate the hotel within 30 days and nights using 7 somewhat magical power tools. The trailer that was shown gave us a glimpse of the different tools like sandblasters and furniture cannons, where you can blast away wallpaper, vacuum up trash, and redecorate. It may look like a bit like House Flipper or Power Simulator at first glance, but that's not exactly the full picture. I absolutely dig these insane ideas, and although I really wasn't sold at first, I am now. It comes out in early 2026 and day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Another little and quick update is that we're getting a brand new DLC for Age of Mythology Retold, and it's called Heavenly Spear and arrives later this year. I did a little bit more digging into this one after the show, and it will bring us 12 gods from Japanese mythology alongside some brand new units. We also have some brand new missions that will await us upon booting the game alongside the Japanese pantheon. I haven't really played Age of Mythology myself, but I know many of you in chat were actually quite excited for this brand new DLC, and now I just haven't tried the game personally prior to its launch. Mudang Two Hearts was another massive highlight of the entire show for me, especially as I'm a big fan of games like Ghost Recon, and this looked exactly like
Not gonna lie
I loved the original Planet of Lana, so seeing the announcement of Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf, had me thrilled, especially as this one is coming to Xbox Game Pass as well as a day one release. This one is a full continuation of the 2023 game with its gorgeous 2D world. Of course, we will once again take on the role of Lana and her adorable companion Mui as they navigate a strange world after a robot invasion. The sequel promises more clever puzzle solving, as well as refined stealth mechanics, new agility challenging action sequences, and a profound sci-fi story. As mentioned, this is coming to both the Xbox Series X and S consoles in 2026, and I can't wait to dive back into this gorgeous indie world. Now, I won't lie to you, but I'm not a massive anime guy. I have watched a couple like The Shield Hero and bits of Naruto, but this is the first I'm hearing about Solo Leveling. Well, if you're a fan of this anime,
I want to check that out on my own. Oh, that's funny. I want to check that out on my own. I'm gonna look that one up on my own.
And then to Xbox
I don't want to hear what he has to say.
2026. There's another creature catching game on the horizon, but this one is known as Animo and is described as a new free-to-play next-gen creature catching open-world ARPG, which is set for both the Xbox Series X and S consoles sometime next year.
Of course.
Animo is coming from Paw Print Studio,
they had to get something else besides Power World
and DokeV. Anyways, it seems like it'll be a very cute and fluffy one, taking place in the interactive and expansive open world of Idyll. It is kind of like Pokemon here, which is probably making Nintendo lawyers foaming at the mouth, especially as you'll be able to collect creatures, merge them, explore the land, and then battle other players and so much more. If you like Power World, you'll probably be interested in this one, and we do have a confirmed release window of 2026 if you are interested.
2026?
Obviously, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is arriving this July, and will be day one onto Xbox Game Pass, and the Xbox team did decide to debut a brand new trailer ahead of its release. We got a further look at this game, which is looking like a pretty solid entry for the franchise, alongside some pretty wacky crossovers. Never did I think I would even see the Doomslayer shredding around a water park on a skateboard, but I pretty much liked it. Even so, this one has a demo which is dropped right now on the Xbox Store, so you can try it out right now before it arrives next month. As an awesome announcement, the Spiritfarer devs have finally returned with a brand new IP, and it's called
I'm gonna be definitely playing that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Spiritfarer offered a more slow-paced experience filled with charming characters looking for final peace, At Fate's End has a contrasting action-packed style.
You know what I mean?
The gameplay looks
2D
equal parts narrative fantasy and intriguing
cool.
combat
You know
style.
I mean? Different gameplay style than we usually see.
Psychological insight about your family to turn the tide of battle. As you progress through the story though, you'll be facing more of your estranged family members, and you advance your skill tree in different ways depending on whether you defeat or reconcile with them. Thunder Lotus Games hasn't set a hard release date as of yet for this one, but At Fate's End is expected to release sometime in 2026 and will launch day one onto Xbox Game Pass. Gears of War Reloaded debuted a brand new trailer ahead of its August launch date, and there isn't really much to say other than it's just Gears of War, but
I might mess around and play that.
We have seen this game updated and remastered before, so you kind of know what to expect at this point. What wasn't mentioned though is that a beta will be dropping on the 13th of June, so you can try out the multiplayer if you want to quash some grubs in this new game. You can get access if you already own Gears of War Ultimate Edition, have a Game Pass subscription, or if you just pre-order the game. Persona 4 Revival was officially announced for both Xbox and Game Pass, but we still don't have a firm release date. However, I know so many are really thrilled for this announcement. The trailer is quite remarkable, and I have my fingers crossed we still get this one in early 2026. I am no fighting game enthusiast.
Alright, and I want to do that one.
A very huge announcement which so many of us were waiting for finally occurred. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming to both the Xbox Series consoles after a lengthy wait, and it will be with us by the end of 2025. You probably already know what Final Fantasy VII entails, and this one is an RPG which many of us have wanted to see for quite some time. You can wish this now on the Xbox
I love that game on PlayStation. I love that game on PlayStation.
Including
Play that damn thing every day when I got home
from school. Rebirth. Alongside FF7 though, we also got the shadow drop of Final Fantasy 16, and it's available right now on your Xbox consoles. This was a huge shadow drop which I've already been playing myself, and I've been loving my time with it so far. This one is not a turn-based game like Final Fantasy VII, and is more reminiscent of games like Devil May Cry with that very fast-paced action with tons of different combos. I will be doing a review specifically for the Xbox version, which we'll have up in the next few days, and I will also be publishing a performance video comparing both the Xbox Series X and S versions, so make sure to subscribe for that down below. One game that I was so happy to see was the next project from Double Fine. This team makes some really weird, wacky, but absolutely bloody wonderful games,
cool
and
Keeper
concept. Looks no different, especially as it seems like we're a walking sentient lighthouse. They have mentioned that this is a game without words, and it's a third-person atmospheric adventure set in a post-human world after our time in the sun has long since passed. The creative lead behind this one is actually Lee Petty, who joined Double Fine many moons ago as the art director for Brutal Legends, so you know it's going to be an absolute nubber banger. The art in the trailer is absolutely gorgeous, and it looked like the world will be a beautiful one.
That looks really good.
I can't wait for this one. It comes out this year, and I love that it's also coming day one to Xbox Game Pass, so we can all try out this new adventure, especially if you're a bit skeptical. Before the couple of big highlights that I wanted. Now, Phil Spencer did turn up at the show and actually teased some pretty big news, which many kind of brushed off at the time. In a kind of blink and you'll miss it moment at the end of this showcase, the Xbox boss did tease 4 massive Xbox games coming out in 2026, including 2 games that we've never heard of before. Phil listed the brand new Fable, Gears of War E-Day, and a brand new Forza game, and then also an unknown return of a classic. I am assuming that the new Forza game will actually be Forza Horizon 6, although there's still a chance it could be a brand new entry in the Forza Motorsport series. As for the returning classic, I have no idea what that could be right now, but it does cast our minds back a little bit to late last summer when a Halo Combat Evolved remaster was rumored to be coming. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's definitely coming. To know your thoughts that's definitely coming. That's no anime buzz about that.
For me, the main highlight of the entire show was for the new Asus Xbox handheld, and it is called the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X, and both of these new handhelds will be coming by the end of 2025.
That's cool.
As expected, this is a Windows PC handheld that'll support Xbox Play Anywhere, PC Game Pass, and Xbox Cloud gaming titles, as well as other PC launchers such as Steam, the Epic Game Store, and so much more. I can't wait to play games like Helldivers 2 on an Xbox branded handheld, and even take advantage of those great Steam sales. Windows 11 is also being optimized for the device, featuring several new and first of their kind features, including a full screen experience and Xbox Game Pass.
I'm not supposed to be spending money, but I kind of want that.
Suite. There's also been no reveal of the price yet, but going online and looking at the current Asus ROG handhelds, I think these will range from anywhere.
I wonder if I'll be able to like hook that up to my computer and I'll be able to stream, not stream, but record some stuff.
Are you going to pick one up this year? You have to let me know below. Oh, and before we end, we also got some nice Silksong news. The game is coming this year alongside the launch of the Xbox handheld. We got a little snippet of gameplay during this bit as well of this reveal, but really nothing more. I do apologise to all of you Silksong pros who still haven't got a release date, but at least we have a confirmed window, and it's still coming to Xbox Game Pass this year.
Alright, that's what's up.
So, what was your favourite announcement?
Okay, so with all that being said, bro, first and foremost, thank you to Xbox Nation, man. Appreciate you, man, so much for the little rundown. I know I skipped a couple of those just because I want to see those on my own. But hey, all that being said, appreciate each and every last one of y'all, man. Mufasa is out. I know I had a couple little rants too. I do apologize on that. Oh, and also, well, I wanted to say something else. Also, yeah, stay tuned for some more gameplay. We're done with Doom at the moment, and we're working on a couple other new games. So, you know what I mean? Stay tuned for that. I got some stuff coming up with my brothers also. And yeah, I will catch y'all on the next one. Mufasa out. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Peace. Love y'all.